Okay, so come on in, take a sip, and let's wind down. It's a Thursday, and I'm excited about that. Except for the headline under the grid, which we have pulled up over here on the other computer, the other monitor. It says, in order to make sense, is the title of the headline. And the subhead here says, Jesse Goldberg's puzzle just seems confusing. Once you get the trick, solving it is smooth sailing. So I guess we got ourselves a tricky one, and I'm looking forward to that. But, yours truly needs to get to the wine store tomorrow, and I do plan on doing that, but we will have a delicious Negroni in its place, of course, because it's really one of my favorite cocktails. So yes, let's wind down. There's 3 ingredients to this Negroni, and one of them is a sweet vermouth, which is not really sweet. No, I don't know where it gets the name, to be honest with you. But so it's like a third wine that we're gonna wind down. So fantastic. So today's word of the day is bon mot, and I love using this term, but it's also one of those words with a fascinating etymology. So we get it's obviously French, bon mot, and it just means a clever remark, a witty statement, but it literally translates into the French as good word. And then if you kind of break that down even further, you get the French. It comes directly from the Latin, bonus, which means good, like a bonus, exact same spelling, and then motto, where we get a lot of we got corporate mottos and taglines, etc. Right? Yeah, everybody's got a motto. The state motto of Texas, for example, where I'm from, is friendship, and so there's mottos, there's just short statements, right? Whatever, it's kind of taking on its own meaning, but so it's just like a good but concise statement, perhaps, right? However you want to break that down, but it is quite fascinating. And it's also, it's equally fascinating that it was on this day in 1066, and to my history buff friends out there, the fellow history nerds like me, 1066, we're thinking Battle of Hastings, right? And we could talk about that all day long and what makes that something, what really made the Battle of Hastings, it's so pivotal, in history. And I've heard so many arguments, and I would even agree with some of them. Like, for example, at the stirrup, the invention of the stirrup, which allowed archers and infantrymen and cavalrymen to actually fight from a saddle and maintain some balance, etc. They didn't have to use their hands as much to guide the horse as they could use both of them while they were balancing themselves in a stirrup. And if you've ever been horsebacking, seems I spent a large part of my life doing stuff like that. You balance yourself in the stirrups, which I learned very quickly when I was in England, and I was riding an English hornless saddle. I'm like, how do I stay in this thing? And I was an experienced horseman, but it just dawned on me, I didn't have, a saddle horn, right? To scooch up against and relax, that you really have to rely on your stirrups. And so a thing there. But I think what's interesting about the Battle of Hastings is that it was on this day, right? So September 25th, 1066, that Harold II of England, or Harold Godwinson, actually defeated the Norwegians, on the other coast of England, and then had to get down south to deal with Guillaume le Conquérant and William the Conqueror, who I think killed him on the 14th of October. So this was a very short-lived celebration, beating the Norwegians, and now I'm going to go deal with these Normans. And it didn't work out so well that way. Anyway, but an interesting bit of history, and certainly the kinds of things you can see Thursday through Sunday in our crosswords. And so I find it quite fascinating indeed. So that said, why don't we hop into our grid and see what we've got going on here today? Because I've already read the headline. It's right underneath the crossword It just sits there. It's got some fella. Maybe that's Jesse Goldberg himself. I don't know. Goldberg. I mean, here I am. I can't help but just give it German pronunciation. But Jesse Goldberg. And maybe that's him spinning cards. But maybe it's just a stock photograph. But nevertheless, it's kind of ominous. Which makes me happy. Because we like a challenge here. We really do. Interestingly enough, I don't know if you can see them here. Maybe just a little. But I've got one large round cube and one small round cube, and it looks about like the same ratio as maybe Earth to Mars in there. Huh. Maybe it's Snowman. If you have not tried a Negroni, do. All right, Jesse Goldberg. Edited by Will Shorts. Okay. Let's hop into it, see what we got today. So, one-time capital of the Mughal Empire. There were a lot of capitals of the Mughal Empire. The two that I remember from rote are Delhi, and Agra. I know there were a couple of others. I'm going to put Agra in because that I know is 4 letters. So, we see what we got from there. Blast loudly. Amp, film unit. Okay, airline known for its tight security. I will say El Al, the Israeli airline. Well, we know we are usually in Rebus country on Thursdays, or something along those lines. I don't know if we're dealing with rebuys here or not. And yes, if you're new, I say rebuy because it's cool. And we started a movement, and we're going to have hats pretty soon. I've suggested to my fellow co-conspirators that we go with berets, specifically linen berets. And we'll see what everybody says. So I have a whole bunch. I like them. Keep my head warm year-round, basically. So I have no idea what's going on with Blast Loudly. I don't know if I'm right about Agra. I mean, like I said, there's a couple of others in there. Let's see. Anaheim ball players. And we had them yesterday. It was NL West team on scoreboards, which was LAA, the LA Angels. So I don't know. Maybe we've got a rebus in here for the G. I'm pretty sure this would be gels, maybe. We're talking Anaheim, right? Are we talking about a minor team or something? Film unit. String of wins or losses. Oh no, we've got something crazy hidden in here. Studs. Well, there's one looking right in the camera. No, I'm kidding. I know that's not true. But, wow, we got some craziness going on here. Illegally siphon funds. Stud. Terrible storm. Apple shop. Well, iTunes is no more. Dad on Family Guy. That's Peter. That's Peter, right? Apple shop. Pardon me in Padua. Scusi, right? We're talking about Padua, Italy. So scusi. Per favore. Yeah, that kind of thing. Continental products. I was thinking cakes or something. Continental breakfast. Maybe we're talking about tires. Maybe we can check something going down. Spell out. Oh, okay. Replace the sod of. I guess you could turf, right? Turf, sorry. Programs in advance. Pastor's concerns. No idea. Subject study with the help of telescopes. Sees red. rages. Okay, I'm not getting quite what's going on. Possibility. Word after long or before paper. Could be term. Long term. Term paper. Home of minor league baseball Seawolves, more than 350 miles from the ocean. Okay. It seems like we're safe to a degree on the crosses. Disney character who asks, "Have you ever met a shark?" And I think that was Nemo. I've seen that one. And was it Finding Dory, or was it Finding Nemo, or Doing Something with Dory? I don't know. I've just seen them. Carved part of a piece of jewelry. The only carved jewelry I know outside of and respectfully I say, like stuff my mother would have made as a teenager and into her 20s and 30s, like hippie beads or something, right? But it's a cameo. So do we have a CA up in a rebus up top? Because if that were an E, then we would have what? Possibility standard music equipment. Scratch and save. So that could be scrimp. This could be cameo. This could essentially be a stereo. And possibility chance so yeah, that could be potential. So I'd have a PO and an ST, so postra, Spasfrica. I don't know. It doesn't make a word if I do that. I wonder if there's a backwards. Oh my gosh, this is going to be work today. That would give us Erie. I'm going to try it. We'll just put it in potential, stereo, scrimp, and cameo. So illegally siphoned funds. We could have a skim off the top. I was wondering how I was going to get embezzlement in there, but it wouldn't line up, and I feel like we've got Apple Shop. Could be an app store. Spell out, specify, programs in advance, maybe presets. Oh, this doesn't feel good. Pastors' concerns, I guess, parishes. Subject studied with the help of telescopes with the search for extraterrestrial intelligence. I don't know. Law derived from the Quran, could be Sharia law. Determined shoe polish brand. Shinola? So apparently it's the beginning of the word Savannah antelope could be an alone. And I got to remember, when it fills in automatically. Determined, maybe dead set, Android alternative, iOS. I feel like we're safe on the crosses. I feel like we can go back to our crosses and just see what we can try to figure out. Film unit. Blast loudly could be to blare. So maybe a reel. Anaheim. So yeah, Angels. String of wins or losses could be a streak. Studs. Stallions. Grand Ole Opry. Terrible storm. Ah, that must be a tempest. The guy wanted to name our middle daughter that so badly. But somebody rightfully told me that's a bad idea. Property owner subject to a legal claim. No idea. Not interested could be I pass. Well, we got a really super clever grid here today, Jesse Goldberg. I'm liking it, but I'm not quite sure I'm getting if it's all just the first few letters away. I don't know. I need to count them up. Snitch could be rat. Strain's partner. Stress and strain. Okay, freeze. No idea. Enter into a plot. Quivers could be tremors. Okay, yeah, we've got a. So this must be seethe. It's a very cool. So determine could be dead set, right? Look greedily could be ogle. Interestingly enough, when Jerry and Len and I met each other in hair school, oh gosh, I wasn't even 17 yet when I went to hair school. I was like, oh, this is cool. But it was the Ogle School of Hair Design. And I always thought it was kind of a play on words maybe or something. Maybe people are going to ogle you when you get your hair done at the Ogle School of Hair Design. But no, that was the guy's name, Shelton Ogle. So would be a good name if he had been, someone who ogles. But he was actually quite a gentleman. Very nice. Great hair. Yeah. I feel like we got dead set there. Bit of fraternity party headgear. Oh, I don't even know. Okay, so I'm here to help. Maybe a use me. Pick me. Okay, gotcha. Livestock identifiers. I don't know. Brands. I don't know. Property owners subject to a legal claim could be maybe the lienee. Traveler's aid. I don't know. Okay, let's see. Common street name. Ooh, this is a nice way to go about dealing with the elm. All right. So replace on the mound could be to relieve. So far, I think I'm seeing we've got two letters that we're dropping the first two letters on these things, which is really quite confusing, which I like. That's nice. Some necklines could be V's or V'd. I don't know. I don't know. Oh, I think I might have misspelled lean. Yeah, well, sorry about that. I don't know. Storage item on some ocean voyages. Yeah, I mean, it's not easy to sit here and try to do the downs just yet. I don't know what's going on with that, so let's see if we can get anything else going across. Actress Gar would be Terry. And man, my 10-year-old self was in love with that woman. Final stroke of most rounds. I'm going to go with a putt. And I am gladly no longer guilty of golf. What each down answer needs from its clue in order to make sense. I don't know yet. Big name and laptop. 4 letters. So, Sony, Acer, Asus. No idea. beginning of every Washington state zip code. And my friend Brendan up there in that neck of the woods, this is a 9, who is actually a world famous setter for the Guardian and the Independent, educator, great guy actually, all the way around. Lives up there, originally from Ireland. So disapproving sounds could be tisks or tuts. We'll try this to start. So this actually looks like it could be, that NK at the end looks like it may be a steamer trunk. And I hope it was only rich people that had those things back in the day, because I can't imagine loading up a steamer trunk and then moving it with me for a vacation. That's the kind of thing where you definitely want a valet, as the English would say. Someone to move that stuff for you. Oh gosh, yes. Incubator occupant in a neonatal unit could be les enfants, so maybe an infant. So I think we got Asus laptops here. I don't know. What are those burners you use? You got the Sternos? Maybe I got this wrong here somewhere. I don't know. I'm overthinking it. I've got to go. I've got to keep doing something here. Show that you think something isn't important. Shrug it off. Wow, this one's got my heart pumping here. I'm thinking, I don't know if we're going to get through this one or not. Celebratory events. Fêtes. Steakhouse choice. Well, the first thing I want to say is a filet, but then I'm thinking you also get fries at steakhouses. Even here in Europe, you go to Paris, go to one of the nicest steakhouses there, you're still going to get pommes frites. You're going to get pommes de terre in some form or fashion, but mostly it can be fries, right? You know, very popular here. So I'm going to go with filet, see what we can do, if we can do anything at all with it. Only president not born in the continental United States would be Barack Hussein Obama. So a neophyte could be a newbie. I got to tell you, I mean, I think we're figuring this out, but yeah, this is no joke. Shipwreck locales often probably be shoals. And I don't do well with these things, right? I mean, it's maybe a helmet. I'm just hoping I don't have to put the H-E and L in the top of every one of these, but I don't think it spells a word, so I don't know why I would. Celebratory events could be fests. The Chicago Bulls had a pair of them in the 1990s, and this I know is three-peat, so that's helpful. Oh, okay. What each down answer needs from its clue in order to make sense would be maybe the first 2 letters. Okay, yeah, this is just insane. Livestock identifiers could be ear tags. Stop, start. Maybe hostesses. And we got the steamer trunk. I really have no idea what this is. Traveler's Aid, familiar, maybe AAA. When I think of travel, I'm thinking, you need a translator or, I don't know, something like that, maybe an area map on Landkarte here in Germany, So I don't know. Replaces on the Mount Release. Okay, boy, this is wow. Enter into a plot. Oh, entomb. Wow. Okay. Bit of fraternity party headgear. Maybe a beer hat. I know I've seen them. Alaska Native could be an Aleut. Okay, got it. Stop slouching. Maybe to Straighten up. Okay, I try to do this every day for all of about a tenth of the crossword. Step with confidence, maybe to stride. And let's see, beat in competition. I don't know. I'll handle that, maybe on it. So beat maybe is in past tense, so maybe bested. Tore could be sped. I fully do not expect to get this on our first shot here. I'm sure I have fat fingered something or gotten something wrong. This was very confusing, but I absolutely am loving it. We're going to find the mistake if we don't get it on the first hand. We ain't going to just, we're not revealing that one. Like John Lennon on a 1981 Rolling Stone cover, and he was nude. So shipping weight units could be short tons. And here we go. How do we do, Bob? Wow. Okay. That's crazy. I cannot believe that we got through that. I don't know that there's anything to say in the aftermath. I think we pretty much covered this entire thing. This was absolutely brilliantly constructed. There is no question about it. And each one of them worked without the first two words. I mean, wow. Just wow. This was really intensely amazing. I wouldn't even know how to go about even constructing something along these lines. This was just brilliant. So, Jesse Goldberg, I don't know if you're, I'm assuming your name is male, or you probably have an IE, so I'll say bravo, but just in case, I'll keep it out there that I would have said bravo if I'd known. Regardless, fantastic, beautiful construction. Oh my gosh. To this grid. It's fabulous. Okay, yeah. I'm just sitting here all the time going, yeah, wow, no, that was a thinker. Okay, well done. Let's bring down our pen here, and we'll call it good from there. Oh my gosh, that was fabulous. So, if you're still with us, if you wouldn't mind, just a quick like. Some of those podcasts will say, a gentle like and subscribe would be much appreciated. A gentle like. I don't care, smash it if you want to, or you can gently push it. But the more you like it, the better it is for the algorithm, and the better it is to grow our community with people just like you. And so, and it's just kind of funny. I've noticed we've had I think 3 days where we had 90%. Maybe there was like one person that was not liking the puzzle, and it was like for 3 different puzzles, and so it would show like 98% likes. Like, well, what's going on there? Somebody didn't like it, but then I didn't see that anybody had like left out early. Just wondering if somebody was hitting the wrong button. I don't know, but nevertheless, if that's your opinion, right on, share it, hit the like or unlike button, dislike button, whatever. It's cool with me. But I appreciate you participating as much as you do. And I really appreciate it when I get comments in. And that's the part that I look forward to the most. So thank you all so very much. Until we see you again next time, auf Wiedersehen. Au revoir. Arrivederci. Que tengas unos lindo días. Be well out there, my friends. Let's be as good as we can be to all the strangers we encounter. And let's try to remember that those thick, strong foreign accents are being spoken to us by people with a great deal of courage and valor. It is very difficult to move to a new land and set up a new shop where you don't speak the lingua franca. Cheers. Be well. We'll see you tomorrow for the Friday puzzle. Looking so forward to that. Cheers.